Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Julie Mex. I'm the Maine Stamper. I am live for your weekly card class from Maine. I am so excited to be here with you. I'm feeling much better this week. I'm feeling more like me this week. If you haven't seen me or met me before, hi, I'm Julie. I am the Maine Stamper. I do live in Maine, and I just recently went to New York for a stamping retreat. I packed up a whole bunch of stuff in my craft room and took it on the road. It was fantastic. We had such a great time. It was so amazing. And I know that there's a lot of great followers and friends here online that really wish that they could have met me there and stamped with me in person. It was just amazing. I'm just gonna let it cat out of the bag right now. I'm planning a Christmas stamp camp here in Maine. It will be in Herman, Maine, and it's close to the Bangor area. It will be Saturday, October 28th. So if you can get to Maine for that date, then you are stamping with me here in Maine. It's going to be super awesome. I'm so excited about Christmas. I love Christmas. In fact, the all demonstrators right now already have looked at the mini catalog. I think mine is downstairs. So it has all the holiday stamps in it. It's so exciting. We are actually pre-ordering. You probably have seen other demonstrators do their unboxing. I will be doing one soon. I think my order is still picking. I did not expedite my shipping on the Christmas order because I don't need it right now. I'm still focusing on things that you guys can also buy. I want to show you things that you can get right now that you don't have to wait for, and we'll build up the anticipation as the month goes on, right? It's still August. It's still summertime. And it's amazing. Hi, Jess. Hi, Deb. Deb. I keep thinking about our retreat. It was so fantastic. Deb was amazing and getting us the location, beautiful location for our retreat. She did so much. I just cannot praise Deb enough for her help. So I'm really excited, Deb. I just have such a great feeling from that still. So thank you so much. Talking about other fun things that are going on, right? Because there's always fun things going on. I just announced over the weekend, check out this beautiful frame, right? This is not like a chintzy frame. Check out this beautiful framed art piece. Is that not gorgeous? This is from this little kit right here, this little wreath kit right here. I use that to make this beautiful framed art, and I'm actually using this as a class. This class is an in-person and a to-go. So I added matting, lots of nice, beautiful matting. I added more elements onto here to make this fuller and more pretty. So you get all those if you get the class to go. You get the frame, you get the kit. I almost thought that was going to tip over. You're also going to make a cute little candy box. So this little box, this right here looks like a bow, but it's actually one of the flowers from the kits. So you're going to make a little candy box, and you're also going to make two cards. So these are the two cards. I have all kinds of information on my blog. That is a to-go class. It is available if you're interested in getting it. The whole class is $35. Shipping is $15. Shipping is expensive. Shipping is expensive. This box right here, actually, this has a, I practiced. I put a whole kit in here just to see if I could fit it in the box, ship it in this box. This is a big box. This is, this box actually costs $17. 17 to ship, but I'm actually shipping it to you for 15 because I hate the expensive shipping. Shipping's crazy. So if you want the to-go version, it does cost $50 because shipping is expensive. But if you can get it in person, you can come and stamp with me, or you can pick it up at my house. Hi, I know Patty's gonna pick one up. She's excited about that. So let's get over to my workspace. We're gonna be working on some cards. I didn't even show you what you're working on tonight. We're doing bicycle cards. We're doing the fun on wheels. So this is our first card. Maybe I won't show all of them to you yet because they're really pretty. I'll show you the backs. Sometimes it's just exciting to see what colors. Now, I always offer my classes to go, and you get the card kits. You get three designs, 2 each, so 6 card kits for a $35 order using my host code, which is an amazing deal, right? Because you get Stampin' Up! Products and you get 6 card kits, envelopes, all of the things. You get PDF directions. This is your tutorial, so you can rewatch the video anytime. If you bump up your order to 50, I always throw in an embellishment, and I'm going to show you what we're going to use. So let's pop over to my workspace. Make sure you're saying hi as you jump on. I'd love to know who's watching. So this is the Fun on Wheels bundle. It is on page 90 of the annual catalog. Super cute, super cute. I love this. This is great for masculine cards, obviously, right? Feminine could be, I mean, everyone rides bikes, but when we're looking for things for masculine, there's not a flower in sight here. This is really masculine. It's also kid and teenager friendly. And I think those are the hardest cards, the 3 hardest cards you can possibly make. Masculine, teenage, and kids cards, right? Without them being cutesy, like really tiny little elephants and adorable things like that, right? These, this stamp set is fantastic. So fun on wheels. It is the red rubber. So I have them all mounted here. I keep my red rubber facing out. I keep my little insert here. This little wax paper keeps everything from sticking. Our cling stamps are very, very sticky, which is great for the blocks. It also comes as a bundle. This is the Fun on Wheels dies, and they're very simple dies to use. I love these dies way more than the motorcycle set. I just want to briefly talk to you about the motorcycle set. It's on page 88. And that was in last year's spring catalog. It was a carryover. The dies for the motorcycle set, I feel like you need a PhD in something electronic or computer science or I don't know what, but these are the dies. You have to use so many intricate dies to create. I mean, the motorcycle is fantastic, but talk about intricate. Now let's talk about not intricate. These dies right here are very simple dies. You can die cut out your bike that looks like this. You can die cut out your bike that looks like this. You've got a skateboard, you've got a scooter. So you've got all 4 of these big images have dies. Fantastic, right? And then these little extra dies, 2 wheels and a bicycle frame, they make the most awesome bicycle, which you're going to see on card number 3 tonight. So we'll be using that. But this is just so easy to use. It's very friendly to use. And really, if you even just got the stamp set, you could just stamp this on some squares, rectangles, what have you. And it's got a really great background stamp here. Some nice little sentiments. And of course, you can combine them with other sentiments you have to create birthday cards and what have yous. So the host code this week for the Fun on Wheels card class is W3WKPK9U. I am repeating this host code. $35 order before shipping and tax gets you the card kits. Here's the card kits. Here's the card kits. Look at all of the stuff in the card kits. I overflow. I'm really bad at making simple cards, right? I love the layers. I overflow. You get embossed pieces, you get die cut pieces, you get fun pieces, you get ribbon, you get lots of things. The card kits are heavy. $50 order is going to get you the card kits in brad. So this is the freebie this week. They are round and square, white and black brads. Now, there's not a lot of brads anymore. Brads kind of like went away. And I love brads. So we're using brads on our cards, all 3 of them. This offer is good through Friday, the 11th of August. So now we're going to create together so you can see how this class works. We have the wrong card kit. We're doing this one first, Julie. Okay, here we go. So in your card kit, and I'm just going to show you exactly how it's going to come to you. You're going to get 2 envelopes. You're going to get 2 of everything. So I'm just going to pull out 1 of each item. I make 1 here live. You can repeat or change up. When you get your card kits, that's the fun. I love it so much. Actually, if you're watching me and you've never watched me before, very frequently as I create my card, I change it up because I just like to change things as I go. It gets a little crazy sometimes in here. All right, I do have a balmy blue card base set aside, already scored, ready to go. And the bones of the card is something that I like to talk about first. And I talk about the bones of the card because sometimes you don't want to do bikes. If this bike was not here, you could put another element on here and you would still have a fantastic card. So don't ever get hung up over the fact that I'm using bikes and you're not interested in bikes. I want you to always be aware that you are a crafty, creative person, and I know you can create something awesome at home too. Sometimes the designer paper works and sometimes it doesn't. This one really is meant to capture this stripy calypso coral, which is really pretty. And it's just going on a Night of Navy layering piece because I like to mat things. I like to have a lot of things on my card. So we're just going to mat both of these designer series papers. Now you can see that it comes from the Lace Shops designer series paper, and it's always fun to look at the opposite side, which is usually a more plain side that you can use for so many different things than just like for, in this case, the houses and shops, right? So I did a class on houses and shops not too long ago, and it was fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I like to use the green glue. Of course, if you're using a tape runner, then put your adhesive on, and I'm just going to put this over here kind of toward the left edge, which leaves us an extra mat. I just like the look of the mats as we come up in layers. So we've got that on there, and if you wanted to do something different, here's the bones of your card. This is a nice little vellum. You can't really tell, but it is a stitched circle. It is die cut from the Stylish Shapes. You've got a sentiment piece here, and then you've got a piece here that you could do something. You could stamp a flower on here, what have you. And this is the bones of your card. So you don't have to do bikes, but we're doing bikes. I'm going to show you how I've got a whole bunch of blue on here as well. So for this card, I'm using the bike that it's the bigger bike, and it looks like it's coming at you a little bit at an angle. And I'm going to bring in Night of Navy ink. I love the Night of Navy because it's almost black, but it's not. It's like that really good dark blue pen. So I'm just going to make sure I've got a nice ink on my stamp, and it's going to go right here on this square. Now, if it's a little bit crooked and sideways, it's okay because I am going to be die cutting this. So there's a die that matches here. So you're going to notice that this is totally different from what's going on my card. So I'm going to show you a little secret for making it look a little bit more natural. So I'm going to bring in Balmy Blue and a blender brush. And I'm doing this before I die cut, so it's just going to be easier. So I'm basically going to add light blue all around my bicycle. So I'm definitely filling in the wheels. And you don't have to go too far outside of the bicycle because once we die cut it, we're not getting too much more. So we're just giving this a nice blue background. We're going to do the same thing actually on the back of our circle. I'm just looking for some scrap paper here. So I'm going to look for the rough side. That's the back. And I'm going to actually do Balmy Blue all on this piece of vellum. So you can add color to vellum. You shouldn't wrinkle it. I just wrinkled mine. So as I'm adding it on here, I'm getting a little rough with my vellum here and kind of wrinkled over. And I think it's still okay. So we're good. And I wrinkled it again. It seems to be like a wrinkly day. I'm trying to not take too long to do this, but I wanted to show you the difference between the vellum. Let me grab out the original circle here real quick. Okay, original vellum and the Balmy Blue vellum. So hopefully it's very subtle, but you can see that there's a difference. It's kind of like a little bit of a glass shading on there. So I'm trying to unbend that a little bit. My poor vellum. Okay, did not mean to abuse my vellum in this video tonight. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to bring in the die. And this is the matching die. So you can see that it cuts quite snugly to the bike. And that's why I said don't worry about going off the bike too much because you don't need to. When it's die cut, it looks just like this. So I've already die cut one and have it ready to go. So it cuts out quite a bit of the inside, which is really nice, and it's nice and blue. And then it's got that blue look to the vellum here as well. So it's all nice and blue. We are going to stamp our sentiment though. It's a good day to have a good day. That's a great sentiment, right? It's always a good day to have a good day. I like this one. All right, so we're just going to put this right here on the middle of this calypso coral. I call them sentiment pieces. It's just a small piece of calypso coral. And we have the sentiment all set. Setting aside my inky blocks here. And now we can finish assembly. So this is a really quick and easy card. We are going to, the brads. We're going to do brads. We're not assembling until we brad. All right, so I have my piercing mat. I have on my take your pick tool. I have the pointy end out right now. Normally I have the spatula end out. I use this one the most. And then I have the putty end on the other one. So when you rotate it and flip it, these are great little tools. So I've got the little sharp tool here, and I'm actually going to pierce the center of where my wheel spokes meet on both. And we're going to put brads in. Where did my brads go? Right here. Okay. We are putting in little white brads for this one. So these come in sizes. There's black and white, obviously. There's circles and squares, but there's also sizes. Let me see if I can find, this is going to be tricky. Here is another small white one. Okay, so, now I have two. And I only need, I need that many. I'm going to pop these back in here. We're going to be playing with brads all night. I love the brads. Okay, so I've poked a little hole in. These guys are stuck together. We're going to pop the brad through. And it just gives a little element of fun, right? It's almost like using little adhesive back dots, but these are brads. Brads can always do more than just be decorative too, and that's why I love them. So we're just gonna fold them over in the back and then just kind of squish them down really flat. And there we go. We've got little brads on our bike wheels. So cute, right? Okay. Now we are going to put our bicycle onto our vellum, but we're putting it on with some dimensionals. So let me grab those out. For this one, I'm using the big dimensionals, and I'm just going to put some here on my bike wheels. And I don't even need to worry about the top, because the wheel, the top isn't, it doesn't matter if you have dimensionals. This is a very small area. You could squeak out some along the edge if you wanted to, just by trimming them down. You could also use the minis. We're going to be using minis on our third card though, so I just wanted to kind of show you some different ways that you can get this on here. But we're just going to put 3 on the wheels, just like this, and then I'm going to make sure my bike is on here, just like so. And you can see that without having the brads here on the top, or I'm sorry, without the dimensionals on the top, it's perfectly fine. It sticks on here well. And the bike wheel comes just down here to the bottom, which is great. Now I know where I can add any kind of glue or adhesive. When I flip this over and I can see the outline of my bicycle, I'm just going to add glue. You could add tape here. So I'm just basically kind of gluing down wherever the back of my bike is on here. And then this is just going to come on here onto this beautiful designer layer. I love this paper. And then I'm just going to press this down wherever my bike is, because I know that that's where I put the glue, but on the vellum behind it. So just like that, we have the little bike on there. Really cute. And now this is going to go on also with dimensionals. I love all of the different layers, but I've recently really started loving using dimensionals. I used to be like really stingy with them, and now I'm just like, how many can I possibly get fit on here? It just adds so much to the card to give it boosted layers. We're going to call them boosted layers now. Boost those layers. They're beautiful. Make your envelopes nice and thick. Okay, so here we go. We're going to pop this layer on here, and I'm kind of offsetting it so we can still see our stripies. We can still see our balmy blue base, which is just gorgeously and beautiful, right? Now, I stamped my sentiment. I did not trim the ends yet, so you could leave this just straight if you wanted to. I do like to flag my ends with an angle, so I'm basically just kind of chopping them just like this, so the angle goes in the same direction on each. Get rid of my scraps. And when I in my directions, when you get my directions and it says use dimensionals as needed, it means that not all of this needs to have a dimensional on the back of it, because part of this is going to rest on my bike, which already has a dimensional. What I like to do here is I like to bring in a dimensional and kind of decide where my sentiment is going to sit, and then say I need a dimensional right here on this part of my card. So the dimensional is going to hit here. I'm going to glue over here, and it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day to have a good day. So now that I know where I need the glue, it's going to go on this end, a little bit of adhesive, and I've got my sticky dimensional here, and I'm just basically at this point lining this up to see where I want it to go. I like it to stick off a little bit so it's obvious it's another whole layer, right? And just like that, we have it's a good day to have a good day. 2 bicycle cards, really cute. And these colors, the Calypso Coral and the Night of Navy, the Balmy Blue, these are, I would say unisex colors, right? You could use these masculine, feminine. I think they would look good either way. Really cute little card. And that is card number 1. We're already done with card number 1. I'm just going to check comments real quick, make sure that I am still live. Deb says, why did I do the shading on the back and not the front? And you can do the front, Deb. I like to do the back because if I mess up, it's a little bit more forgiving. The vellum is obviously, you're going to get the same shade either way, but if I, the front of it's going to have a little bit more vellum look to it, but you could definitely do the front too. I also like to, just in case any of the ink runs or smudges off, if it's on the back, it's smudging onto the paper behind it rather than coming up if someone's touching it with their hands. But try either way. Definitely you can do either way. It's going to be pretty much the same effect. So there we go. I see Jackie and Jess. Hi. Okay, Sandra's here. So good to see you guys. Thanks for saying hi and jumping on. Okay, card number 1 is done. Let's move on to card number 2. We haven't even seen card number 2 yet. I didn't share it with you yet. but this is the card kit. So this looks like a really masculine card kit, right? We've got basic gray, we've got pretty peacock, and then we've got all kinds of white papers here. Looks like we're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff, right? The mystery is fun. So you've got some white paper. I love the gingham paper, and of course with the gingham paper you get to choose which side you like better. We have, again, we're using, this is so cute, right? If you don't want to do bikes and you decide you want to do a food card, you have designer paper for a food card. This actually comes, again, from the Lace Shops. And then you've got this pretty peacock. This is an embossed piece. So this has the basic 3D, I'm going to call it like a tweed type pattern. So that is an embossed piece. And you've got 2 of the basic gray card bases. Let me set the kit aside and bring in my pre-scored card base. So we're using basic gray. So very masculine looking, right? This is kind of a masculine appeal, I feel like. Again, not completely masculine, doesn't have to be, but look at you go as you make this card. This is the card that we're making next. Super cute, super simple, and a different kind of way to use the brads. So I'm not using the brads on the wheels this time. I'm just using them right here on the designer series paper, and I've already decided I'm changing it up this time. I've already decided, as I was looking at this card earlier, I said to myself, oh, I could have done, and then I'm going to. So let's get our bones of the card put together so you can kind of see what your kit's going to look like. And if, of course, if you're not using the bicycle, you can in your mind dream of exactly what you would use that you already own. You can already use this card kit on something. So again, this is from Lace Shops. There is an orientation. These circles are kind of coming down in a scallop, or they're going up, and I like them going up. So you can, or look, if you're doing a food card and you're going a whole new direction, a super cute start right here. Okay, but however, I am not doing a food card tonight, but you never know. You may see a food card, you know, maybe my color swap will be foodie. I'm not sure yet. So we're gonna just go ahead and layer these on here. Simple layers, and I just realized that I meant to do something different, and I'm already doing something different. When I made this card, I didn't put any of these layers down until I did the brads. So I have already decided we're going in different directions, and perhaps we might even use these this way. So you can see the 2 different gingham patterns. I mean, really cute. I do like this one better. I think the bold one looks really nice. We're probably going to stick with that one. Okay, so, but choices. These are always choices, and I love when you get the card kits at home and you do something with them and then you share pictures with me and I see what you did, and I love it because the creativity is amazing. I hope that I am inspiring you just as much as I want you to inspire me when you get these card kits. All right, so as mentioned, as talked about, I was going to do something a little different with my brads. I am using, I'm going to stick with the big, the square black brads, and I'm going to do 3 this time. It's so much fun to have your own embellishments that you can just play with. And yeah, remember, when you get your card kits this week and spend $50, you're getting all of those. You're going to have tons left over. You're going to be able to put them on lots of different things. All right, so again, with the pokey tool, the piercing tool on my, my little take your pick tool. And this time I'm going to put my brads on this piece, which I did here, but I'm going to put them in a different orientation. I'm actually going to put them I'm using these little squares, 2, 3. So I'm using the little squares, the little diamonds here, right in the designer series paper. And I'm using those kind of as my template to know exactly where I want these to go. And I'm going to try to leave them in a diamond pattern. So I'm actually kind of just filling in the diamond. And I may need to trim this one. So I'm going to show you how you can trim as needed, because you can see that it's sticking out a little bit. So I'm going to just put my brads in here kind of in this diamond shape, which is really, I mean, I thought of like 3 different ways I could have used these. So it's always exciting when you get going on something. I think I like this better than my original. And then I love to have your opinion. I will ask you, what do you guys think? Now I'm going to bring in, these are some really super sharp scissors, and I'm going to actually cut my brad. So you can trim those off. I think I'm going to trim this one off too. So you can see this is long, and if I turn, oh, it's okay that way, right? But you definitely want to make sure, if you want your brads in an orientation, that you have, that they're not sticking off. This one right here is a little bit long. I'm going to trim this one too. So if you have a nice sharp pair of scissors, you can snip these down a little bit. And there you have it. Isn't that cute? I like this a lot. I hope you can see that. I know that's kind of a dark feature there. And then I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. This card's already going to be so much different. But let's do some stamping. We have some stamping to do for this one. So for this card, we are using the scooter and the skateboard, right? Scooter versus skateboard. Fun fact, I had a skateboard in my youth when I was younger. I was a skateboard girl. Not like a fancy skateboard person like now. Like people now are super fancy skateboarding. I was just tooling around on mine. Like it was a lot of fun. I think I still have it actually. Probably an antique then, isn't it? I'm aging myself a little bit here. All right, so on the scooter and the skateboard, I'm just using basic gray. I wanted this to be kind of monotone for the card. I wanted the colors to just be really simple. So you've got some paper here that is cut, that is perfect size for you to get those two items stamped. And of course, as we talked about earlier, there are dies that cut these out perfectly. You've got your little scooter die and you've got your skateboard die. Now, none of these dies are hard to use. Like sometimes there are dies where you're like super tricky to line up. These ones are really quite easy. And when you die cut them out, they leave a little bit of white around and they are like just perfect little images. So these are the two images. After we die cut them, that's what they look like. Move those aside. It's like the magic of TV, right? We're going to do our sentiment. Look at you go. So this is going to go on a little scrap of white. And we're stamping this one in Pretty Peacock because I do want some more blue in here. Oh, that's really kind of crooked. We're going to flip and do it again. Two-sided paper is the best kind of paper to own. This is a little bit better. I kind of smudged here a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I prefer it to be straight and smudged than crooked and not smudged. I don't know what your options are. Let me know in the comments. Are you worried about crooked or are you worried about smudges? What is your worry? All right, so on mine, again, I did a little bit of a notch here. So I'm just going to bring in my scissors. You could flag the end here too. I'm going to notch it just like that. And now we're going to just put these together. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece because these brads are bumpy. So when I did this card, I actually assembled all the layers, put the brads through the four corners, and then put down the entire piece. So the Pretty Peacock emboss piece, the designer paper, and then this matte piece right here, they had the brads go through all of those before they went on the card base. And that helped to kind of lessen the bumpiness from the brads. But since I have just direct brads to paper, we are changing this up. It's fun to switch it up a little bit, right? I need to find more dimensionals. Okay, I know I had them here like a second ago. Oh, yeah, they're right here. They're right here off to the other side. Okay, good. Here we go. We're going to add some dimensionals to this one now. So I'm going to put one like right there. And I'm also going to put one down. I'm not going to quite, oh, I don't like the way that one landed. We're going to come up a little bit. So you do have to be kind of mindful of where your brads are to make sure that it's all going to work out perfectly. All right, so we're bumping this one up. This one is going to look totally different than my original. And that is not a bad thing because I do like to show you different ways you can be creative. So I want my little brads to come over here onto the right side. I'm going to just put this right about here. Now this layer that I'm putting on right now is the same width as our designer series paper. I already like this better. Oh my goodness, who knew? Okay, let's put some dimensionals now on the back of our little scooter and skateboard. Now for this one, I did grab out my minis. So this is my minis. You can see the difference between big and small. Like there's a big difference actually. And I'm going to cut some of the side here first of all, because I found that taking a whole strip off the side works really nicely here for the back of the skateboard. You don't have to put like 3 or 4 across. You can just do a strip if you trim. I like that idea a lot. Now for this one right here, I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back wheel, which is really tiny. I'm going to put 2 on the front wheel, kind of going up. And we do need to actually add some dimensional here on this little crossbar from the top of the scooter handle. I don't know if this is going to be too big. This might be too big. Maybe. Let me see. Is it going to show through? I put that on crooked, so definitely going to show through now. Let's try again. Let me see if I can get this on here. These are tiny, so it's harder obviously to work with. I think I can kind of get away with that, so I'm going to leave that there. So there is my little scooter, and I just got to peel the backings off of my dimensionals. So if you don't have the mini ones, you can use the big ones and just trim them right up. Some of these you have to trim anyway to get them on here, but I do like to have both sizes handy. I use the big ones more than the small ones, but I can tell you that the small ones, when you need them, are so fantastic to have. All right, so we're going to put our little scooter kind of like right over this way. So he's going to be on the side over here. I can see that little bit of dimensional there. I would probably trim that, but I'm not going to do it now. I would probably trim that a little bit better. But we're doing a live, and you're getting good ideas. Now for the skateboard, I kind of looped them together here a little bit, so it's almost like they just kind of piled up here in the corner, as most children's toys tend to do. I have grandchildren, and I understand how that all works. We had a really great grandchildren visit yesterday, and it was just so amazing. We all played outside, so there was some. They weren't playing with bicycles, but they did have little trike type things and a little go-kart. And they were just, running up and down the hills and riding them down the hills. It was great. Riding them down the hills, so much fun. My current speed is a stationary bike because that works out really well. I don't have to worry about the weather. I sit in my basement, ride my little bicycle. And there we go. Look at you. Now, of course, there's a little smudge there. This is not the most perfect card. However, I really like the change up better. So my original one had 4 brads in the corners. And my current, I like this one better. You guys let me know which one you like better. Do you like side brads or 4 corner brads? Because that was just one change up. I could really think of a couple more too, but just showing you different ways that you can use your brads on any design. They don't even have to be, bicycle related, right? You could use these on any cards just like this. Super cute. Love this one. Let me just make sure we're still doing good. Oh, yes. Side brads. I like the side brads too. Yes, you guys are doing great, right? All right, cool. Yes, Janice uses the flat sticky dots on the back of the brads. Yes, that is a perfect way to secure them. In fact, during my next card, Janice, you're reading my mind tonight. My next card, I'm actually going to use some tape. Let me get a quick sip. I'm going to use some tape, and we're going to tape down some of our brads so they're not spinning around. But yes, dimensionals, great idea. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to like ride right here into the sunset card here. This is our last card of the evening. So you can see some really bright, fun colors here, right? You can see kind of the reddish tone, the black and white. This is like classic, like classic race car almost, right? So I have Sweet Sorbet. And I have, of course, black and white. We have a little bit of flirty in here too. So this is your card kit here. Now you're getting ribbon. So this is the only card I'm sending ribbon with. Love this checkered ribbon. This ribbon you can actually color with your blends. Actually, I wanted to kind of show you that and I forgot. Let me find my little scrap that I threw this scrap away. Can you believe it? I threw away this scrap in my bin. Let me grab a piece of paper, and we're going to just really quickly, we're going to talk about the fact that this white and black ribbon can be colored. Let me see if I have sorbet markers, not markers. I want blends. My Stampin' blends right here. Stampin' blends come in a light and a dark, which is awesome. Let's try the light one first. Okay, so you can use the brush end. You want to use the brush end sideways. You don't want to use it straight point down, but you can color this. And now I'm going to lift this up so you can see. So you can see, you can color this ribbon. So the white gets colored in, the black stays. I colored right over top of the black. It's still black. It didn't change the color. It did change the white though. So you could, in fact, for this card, if you wanted to, you could create a ribbon that is colors and pretty. I think that is so cool. Also, in the new fall catalog, which customers get to order from in September, there is another black and white checker ribbon, gingham ribbon, but it's actually not black and white. I shouldn't say black and white. It's black and ivory. I haven't seen it yet. I feel like it's a thicker ribbon than this one is. This one is in the current annual catalog. Okay, so that was our side adventure on coloring. Let's look at our card kit here. So you can choose to color your ribbon or not. You're getting 2 card bases, 2 envelopes. I just need to separate. I'm giving you some punched pieces. Ooh, this is fun paper. I forgot about this one. This is like shiny, shimmery. I don't know if you can see the texture and the sheen in that. It's beautiful. Now this this comes from a specialty paper pack. It has all of the 2022, 2024 in colors. So if you like those in colors, definitely a great paper pack. So it's got those beautiful blues, the orchid and the starry sky, all kinds of good stuff. All right, so this is a very full card kit. There's a lot of stuff going on in this one. So let me grab out my card base. Sweet Sorbet, really pretty red, right? It's almost a reddish color, but then it kind of lends itself a little bit to pink. So my other 2 cards were a little bit more masculine looking. I wanted to kind of have something that was maybe just a smidge more feminine. I still have all these parts out. I didn't show you the card. This one is probably my favorite. Check this out. At every turn of life, may you find adventure. So as promised, we were going to use the outlines of the bike to create a bike without stamping it. This is the card, and I love these colors together. They're just gorgeous. Now this paper right here reminds me of Tire Tread. It's actually from the Zoo crew, the Zany Zoo. Sweet. So on the opposite side, we have this. So again, if you're not into like the whole bike thing, you could probably configure up a card with some of these parts and pieces and use, depending on what you get. I mean, every cut's going to be a little bit different, but it's just a lot of fun this way. Now these 3 right here, the white, the flirty, and the black, these are your bicycle die cut pieces. And I did die cut mine earlier. So I just want to show you. I actually did 2 of the bike frames. So this is your little bike frame, and I did 2 of them, one in the flirty and then one in the white. So you have to do them separately, but the wheels you can do at the same time. So here's your wheels, just like this. So you can get die cut your wheels on here, and then when you're all done die cutting, I want you to know your wheels are they're not perfectly round either. These are not round wheels, but really cool. You'll have to pick through to make sure all these little pieces come out. And then here are, it's so delicate. Like these are the most delicate little bike frame pieces. So I have a pink and a white, and we're going to talk about why later, but I have 2 here. And those are your die cutting for this particular card. Now you're getting the punch circles, so you already have those. So again, if you don't want to do anything with bicycles, you've got a whole bunch of great bones here, and we're going to put the bones together first. So I'm going to glue down these cute little critters. Sorry guys, you're just gonna have to, you know, hang out on the back of the card here. And this one's gonna go across the entire width of the card front. So it is 4 1/4 inches wide. So we're just gonna put that right there, kind of about in the middle. I think about the middle is right. Now let's layer together a whole bunch of these things. Again, bones, right? We got some great bones. I like to layer and I like to mat. And they also have to look good together. I don't want them always to be the same layers and the same mats. So I think if you've been watching some of my classes, you probably don't see a lot of the same designs because I do like to mix things up. And these are all my own designs on my classes, just in case you're wondering who I'm copying. I made these cards all by myself, just me. I did not copy anybody. I sometimes will copy the catalog, but that's it. I rarely copy anyone else because I like it to be different. Now we're going to do Memento Black, and we're going to do our sentiment, and we're going to stamp this right on the Flirty Flamingo. This is a 2-inch circle right in the middle, and it fits perfectly, which I love. And then for our sentiment, we are going to actually darken down with a sponge dauber the edge of my circle. I just got to find my dauber. Let me bring my card in. I don't know if you can tell that I sponged the edge of that. Once you put it on a darker layer, sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm just doing a little bit here along the outside edges. If this is not your jam, don't do it. I love to sponge though. Sponging and layering, that's my jam. I think I'm wearing my jam shirt today. I'm looking down. You can't see my shirt right now, but I am wearing my stamping is my main jam. Side note, my initials are J-A-M. My middle name is Ann. There's a lot of people with middle name of Ann. So we are awesome. Okay, so I'm just adhering my circles together. So I've got the 2 together. So the sponging kind of blends in, but it still stands out as we put these together. Now on this card, I got clever and put my little brads here rather than in the spokes of the wheel. So again, you can use brads pretty much anywhere. I'm wondering, I'm thinking about changing it again. So let me think and wonder here while I search for the right ones. I want the white ones because I feel like they show up the best. And I love the little tiny ones. They're so cute. Okay, oh, there's 4. We want 3. 3 is always a good number of elements to add. It's easy for your eye, to assess them. I think that's what that is. Let's see. Somewhere I lost my pokey tool. Here it is. All right, so I'm kind of thinking this time I might put them at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and just put one here at the top. I'm going to start with the middle one, and then I'm going to do my poking here on either side at hopefully even angles. And if not, it's okay. These are handmade cards with love. So I'm just going to put my brads up here. So we're flipping it around again. I can't wait to read your comments later. I don't read them while I'm creating because I would get so distracted, like squirrels running through my craft room. So I will read your comments later and check out. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that. Okay, so on this one, I know Janice said so awesomely earlier that I did read comments in between. She uses the dimensionals and just kind of holds her brads in place. I actually used tear and tape. And these ones aren't quite as close together. Nope, I am going to catch them all. So I did use a little tear and tape on this card because I didn't want them to spin out of control. So brads can be contained by tape or dimensionals, you know, what have you. I probably will put a dimensional here on this one as we go. I might trim this one. And then that goes flying. I'll find all these little shards later. Okay, so there we go. We've got our brads on here. Now we have our bicycle, which is super cute, right? We have all these pieces that I die cut earlier, and I said we're going to talk. So they're really delicate, and you're probably looking at these thinking, how in the heck am I supposed to get those on this card? Like, there's not a lot to glue here, and that is true. There's not a lot to glue here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our wheels, and I started with the Flirty Flamingo, and that's why I'm giving you 2. It's really hard to see, but there's a shadow of Flirty Flamingo behind this white here. I originally thought I wanted to do a Flirty Flamingo bike, and when I put it on my card, it kind of disappeared because the colors were too matchy-matchy. So then I pulled a white one out and put it right over top. That's my design process. Sometimes I redo, but I don't completely start over. So as I'm doing this, I'm also putting a little tiny glue in the middle of the wheel here. Actually, I might need to turn this a little bit. So as mentioned earlier, these wheels are not circles. Okay, so find the best angle, and I just put a little little drop of glue in the middle of the black wheel, and I'm lining up the little spots here, the little like hubcaps maybe, and just turn your wheel a little bit until the fender of the bike seems to fit well, so that it kind of blends together. So it looks like a cohesive unit. So you don't want your wheel wells here, your fenders to be like flying up too high, but you're just going to add a little bit of glue, and that's how you're attaching these 2 pieces together. Now you've got your little bicycle attached. So as mentioned, this one on here, the little pink, the little Flirty Flamingo really disappeared. And then I thought, nope, we need to brighten it up with some white. So I actually did another one in white, and that's why you're getting 2. Now, if you don't want to use 2, you don't have to. You can just go with white if you're making these cards kind of exact, because I'm going to ask you to glue these together. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on here, and then I'm going to put this over top of the pink, but I'm also kind of offsetting it slightly. So it's got like a pink shadow behind it, and I think I did it better on this one. So hopefully I'll lift this up. Hopefully you can see, if my camera adjusts, there's just a hint of pink here behind the white. So it's almost like 2 layers, and I thought that was kind of cool. So that is the story of my my fun little experiment here. Now, before we put any more on to this card, we do have to fix our ribbon. So this great ribbon we talked about earlier, we are going to wrap some of it. So in my directions, it's going to say about 5 inches is what you're wrapping. I like to put the regular tape runner on my ribbon. So I'm just going to bring this in on my silicone mat, and you definitely want a silicone mat for this because This gets everywhere. And then I'm going to bring this back down here. So this is almost like a little bit of like a Polaroid picture effect. We've got the white here on the bottom, and we're covering this up with our black and white ribbon. And just, I love these together. Beautiful colors together. It's so awesome when I'm putting the cards together and I find the right elements. I actually was going to use sweet sorbet ribbon, and then I came across this ribbon and I changed my mind at the last second because I was like, oh my gosh, this checkered ribbon is perfect for this card. It's so cute. Now, when we talked about dimensionals earlier, believe it or not, there's also black dimensionals, which are fantastic when you have a black piece of cardstock and you want to make sure that it's not really obvious that you have dimensionals, right? So you can get these in white or black, and the black pack actually comes with large and mini as a combination, so that's really nice. I'm using the large ones here. So as you see, I'm taking the paper off. They are black underneath, and that helps to hide. So if you're using anything in a dark color, these are great too. So there's lots of different choices out there. Let's make sure we're putting this on the right way with the card facing in the right direction. I'm centering this on here. A lot of times I off center here, but this time I'm centering. Now, of course, again, at home, you have this kit, you can do whatever you like. Now we have this beautiful little sentiment circles, and we have this spike, and they need to kind of go together because this is really, really delicate to put on here. Actually, we are going to put 2 mini dimensionals on the wheel circles on the back. So make sure you've got the back of the bike. Oh, and this would be a great place to use my black mini ones. And I don't think I have any in my kit. I do have them. Look at this. Let's redo, just so you can see the difference. Redo. As mentioned, the black mini dimensionals come with the large in a one combo pack. And this is a great place to use them. So they're really not going to, if you don't have them on there perfectly, they're probably going to hide really well. So I took the dimensionals off already. We're actually going to put a little bit of glue on the seat and the top of the handle, the handlebars right there. Okay, this is going to stick to my finger. So I'm going to actually glue just the top here to my circle. And I know I have my dimensionals are uncovered on the back. So if I do this over here, it might be better. Probably would be even better if you guys could see me. Okay, this is like intricate work here. Okay, so I'm just gluing the top of the seat, the top of the handlebars to the bottom of my circle. Not even sure if that's straight, but we're going to pretend it is. And then we're going to put more dimensionals on the back of the circle. So the circle's going to have some, and picking up my stick. Everything's sticky right now. By the time I get to my third card, pretty much everything and my fingers are just covered in stick. Okay, now all dimensionals are off, all the backings are off of this completely. So we're going to pop this on here, and I can see that my my bicycle is not quite straight on this one, and we're probably set up here, so we're just going to go with it. We're just going to be not quite the perfect card, but you'll get the idea of how to make this, right? So we've got the dimensionals here, we've got the little seat and the handlebars are glued, and then we've got 2 dimensionals here. So our bike is secured, so that's the best way to secure that bike. We don't have to worry about gluing all those little intricate pieces down. Now with the remainder of the ribbon, we're going to make a really cute little bow. We're going to think happy bow thoughts while we create bows. I think I did it. It's always exciting. So bows are adjusting. Bows are adjustable. Like you make a bow and you adjust all of the bow pieces. Okay, that works pretty good. We're going to put that right there. We're going to trim up the angles of our ribbon. Super cute. I love the little bow. I'm looking for my tear and tape. I like to put my ribbons down with tear and tape. So just one more time here, you can see all these beautiful cards. We'll bring them all in and we'll take a peek at the card class. So this card class is available through Friday evening. I cut them up over the weekend, shipped them out, and you get 6 card kits, 2 each of the 3 designs with your $35 order using my host code. Don't forget, you guys are redeeming your bonus bucks that you earned in July. You've got the whole month of whole month of September, whole month of August, not September. This will end. This, oh, I like this bow. This bow is cuter. All right, so you have the whole month of August to redeem your bonus bucks, and you have to decide which one you like better. I think I like the white at the top better than the white at the bottom. So the brads at the top, I definitely like this bow better. Like, no two bows shall ever be like. This is the handmade part of handmade cards, right? Not always perfect, right? But still really cute, and also changing it up. So here again, here's a look at the cards. We're gonna take a look at the cards real quick. Tell me which is your favorite. We have 3 cards here today. Obviously, you do not have to do bicycles if you don't want to, but aren't they super cute? Love these. So as mentioned again, you can redeem your bonus bucks. Now you should have received an email. Oh, did I switch to me? I'm on me. Yes. Okay, good. You should have received an email from Stampin' Up on the day that you ordered in July. If you ordered 150 on a particular day, they would send you one email and you would have 3 bonus coupons in them. Oh my gosh, such a mess. I don't think I have bonus coupons to show you. I think I showed them somewhere else. But anyway, you should have gotten an email from Stampin' Up directly. If you didn't get your email, thanks Jess, I'm glad you liked that. Oh, and Janice likes the red card. See, squirrel. I'm squirreling it already. Sandra likes brads at top. Me too. So much fun. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me and having fun. So bonus bucks. You should have gotten an email from Stampin' Up the day that you ordered. I would have had your bonus coupons in there. If you don't have that email, let's say you didn't get it, or let's say you accidentally deleted it, you can get it resent to you. So whether you decide to call Stampin' Up yourself and say, hey, I ordered on July 15th. This is my order number. I didn't get my coupons, they will resend them to you. If you don't want to call support and you want me to call support, I will do that for you. And I will say, this is my customer, this is their customer order, this is their date. Can you please resend that email to them? Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to send it to you. Those coupons are very important. When you input them to redeem them, you are redeeming them $5 at a time, right? So if you have a $50 order and you have 3 coupons, you're taking 15 off. And you're still qualifying for my card class, which is really awesome. If you want to get the brads, you have to bump it back up to 50 though. So there's a little play with your coupon codes, right? You're going to enter 1 coupon code per line, right? And you can use as many coupons as possible. So maybe all you have to pay for is shipping on your order. It depends on how many coupon codes you have and what you're ordering to. So that's how you do that. If you have questions or need help from your order with me in July, definitely reach out. I will help you however I can. So that's our card class. We have really great cards. The host code is out there. I will be putting an email reminder out as well. Throughout the week, there will be a color swap card on Wednesday over on Positive Paper Crafters, a fun fold card on Thursday. We take the card class that I start on Monday and we play with it all week. So I want you guys to see even more. I want you guys to be excited to come back and check out even more. So thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget about my pretty art class. I mean, like, this is pretty art. This is the pretty art class. So I'm just going to show you this again. I love this. And in fact, I'm thinking about changing this and adding in some blue flowers, because I think some blue flowers, the peacock, Lost Lagoon, I think we could add more flowers to this. We could totally change it up. So that's the class. You're making a little candy box, you're making 2 cards. That is to go. I have a whole bunch of them ready. You're getting the frame, you're getting the kit. If you have any questions on that, let me know. And I think that's everything for tonight. Oh, don't forget, Stampin' Up has 15% off kits this month. The kits are on sale this month, which is awesome. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to come back through and read your comments. If you have any questions, leave them here. And I know some of you guys are watching replays, so make sure you say hi too. I'm also popping this over to YouTube. So YouTubers, hi over there. I'm so glad you're hanging out with me on YouTube as well. All right, everybody, I will see you throughout the week with more card inspiration. Thank you again for your time. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.